Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second session of the debate under the portfolio of the Ministry of Academic Affairs. Yes, I was saying welcome to the second session of the debate. This is the portfolio of the Ministry of Academic Affairs. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to the panelists to introduce themselves.
Ajeke dom krag. Dumelang moithuti ko lapeng. Sitting before you today is Mandipa Amantle Tlhabane, a visionary, a leader, an advocate for impact and change, and your Minister of Academic Affairs candidate under GS26. Kuka Party. Bagaetso, I have made the decision to campaign because as a student myself, there has been constant stream of academic issues that have never been fully resolved ever since I entered into this university. And as a selfless individual that believes in implementation of solutions and to change the trajectory of things, I see it fit not only to campaign under this position, but also to join the GS26 Reset Madikolo movement. Jaka Kibwili, Kibidwa Mandipa Amantle Tlhabane, which translates to, you have been given a beautiful warrior. And I have been given to this university to be a catalyst of change and impact. Kuka Pat. It is common knowledge that education is the cornerstone of the future. I believe my purpose is to serve, and therefore, as incoming minister, it will be my duty to help shape our learning environment into one that is both supportive and conducive for the student community. If elected, together with my dear Democrats in standing, we will work tirelessly to ensure the production of quality education from this university. When I say catalyst of change, I say this with confidence, as it is not something I hypothesize. Bagaetso, I am a credible candidate that believes my purpose is to serve people. I have held multiple volunteerism leadership positions that I cannot say in just the 5 minutes I've been given. Not to mention that I'm also the incoming president of the University of Botswana Finance Society, which is an instrument of impact in of itself. Kuka Pat. Lastly, allow me to place emphasis on the platform I am proud to have created called Miss Put You On, that already solves similar issues to the ones students face in this academic institution, from lack of access to opportunities, to lack of creation of opportunities, and lack of awareness of these opportunities. This platform is my contribution to my country. It is evidence of my passion and dedication to youth development, and mindset change of the youth in Botswana. I humbly request for the opportunity to do exactly what I have been doing outside of the university, now practically in the university. Motuwa Meko Pele Kuka Pat.
Thank you, Mandipa and Mark, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Dumelang baithuti, dumelang batswana kwa lapeng ba lebileng. Yo ya mehano ke mpho Asante Monyetsi. Ke tswa ko UBCD XDSM movement, ke emetse academic affairs. Nna ha ke ata go bua sepe se sentsi. Nna ke tsile go bapatsa mokgatlo ke re we are ushering a new dispensation. Ke ema hela yalo. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Let me take this opportunity once again to thank all the live streaming viewers at home, and also thank my comrades who are here today. Viva mono ba ithuti viva. Viva UDC viva. Bagaetso ka leina ke bidwa la go Vincent Laone wa Garantswekeng. Ke tswa ha motseng ha le bidwa Mashoro, which is 80 kilometers northwest of Serowe. Nka se ipolele mme ka ntsha one motso ke tswang go gone ka gore it forms part of my identity. Me Vincent ke mama mo madikolo. I'm a law student. I'm a law student in the University of Botswana, and I'm a former class rep for my introduction to law lecture group, and I'm the current class rep for customary law lecture group. Ke tsa ke re ja karta be re le gone ha mo bosigong jwa gompieno re ipoela gore re bo mare tswa go kae le gore re batla go irang le tanka di maditsebe tsa lona mo metsotso e tabeng ke ya dimilwe gore ke tlhalose gore sente ke le Vincent Rantswekeng ke tswa go mona ba ithuti ka re ke tla le direla eng le gore ke tla le se direla jang ka gore le mona ba ithuti re itamile hela thata re ikagile ka dipilara tse di tshwana le bo student empowerment, student centered priorities. Ka gone gore mathoki a baithuti ke ona a leng gore a gaufi thata le dipelo tsa rona re batla go buelela batho ba ba tshwanang le lona le bana ba madikolo gore re le ntshe mo botshwarong jwa GS26 re le ntshe mo botshwarong jwa Radon Kra ye le gore gompieno e sokodisa baithuti mo madikolo e sokodisa baithuti go behela le batswana ka kakaretso ke jaaka re taga mo go lona gompieno tsatsi eno ke ipapatsa ke rekisa lone mo kgatho gore tlhopha mono wa baithuti tlhophang Vincent Laune Rantshokeng re tle re kgone go le buelela re le mono wa baithuti le ba kitabeng ke tsamaya le bona. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Let me take this opportunity. Let me take this opportunity to greet the student community. Let me just start by introducing myself. My name is Kidisa Nselelo, aka Preach Remedy. I'm doing a second year under the Faculty of Education, Bachelor of Education degree in Science course, majoring in chemistry. I am here this evening to share with you my vision and my manifesto towards this Ministry of Academic Affairs, towards the academics of our university. I am here to share with you what I envision about the academics of this university. In my first year, as I was a first year here, I was staying at Block 478 and I was the deputy HOH of that block committee. And in that moment, in that time, I really got exposed to the affairs of the students, how the students are living, everything they're going through. So I am here today. I saw the lack in the field of academics. So I am here today to share with you my manifesto, my vision about the academics of this university. So thank you so much.
Thank you, comrades. Baithuti ko lapeng ke tsa le baithuti ya ka bana ba ipuela gore ba re ke bo mang ba tsile go irang hano ba re ba tsile gore ke sa la manifestos ba tsile go le kaetsa gone gore ba re ha ba ka tsena mo cabineting ba tsile go irang in that portfolios as ministers of academic affairs. So we'll then get right into it and speak to your manifesto pointers, your objectives, and or your goals as ministers of as candidates for Ministry of Academic Affairs. So over to you, Mayor Mpho Munyati. Can you speak to that? And you have 10 minutes to speak to your manifesto.
Thank you, Motsamayi Satiyo. Yeah, I'm a third year student studying criminal justice from Bachelor of Social Sciences. So na se ke se itemogetseng ke gore thuto ya rona le mmadikolo se re tsa sone se betse hatsi. So sa maka gore ha re tswela kwa ntle ba re bua nna ke tsile ga le mokgatho wa go ta go rekisa le go ta go busetsa seriti sa mmadikolo gae ke raya one reintroduction of free tuition mo mmadikolo gompieno na re le ba ithuti ra sokola ga go ta go dikganyeng tsa tuition ra duela ke mbotoka re sa re mme go ka go na le ba ba itseng ba bana le moitsanape ya ka o ka bona ha o ka lebella cabinet time sentse we are diverse students re na le bana ba tsong kolo re na le bana ba tsong engineering re na le bana ba criminal justice ba ile gore bona ba o ebile ba kgetholotse so ne ke kopa hela ke re ha o ntse hatsi wa kanya khanya gore madi a wa duelelang for free tuition a kae mo ha o di mogamong o lebelele gore a mme ke tshwanelo ya gore mo madi mo bonyenyane bo botsayang o duelele dithuto tse le gore o tetse sone mo gone mo mmadikolo o tetse go ithuta mo mmadikolo ha go di mo ga mmadikolo ba go okeletsa stress le mathata a gore o se ka hiwa thuto e na le mboleng ka jaro ke re rona re le mokgatha re tsile go buelela kgang ya free tuition gore e boele botoka e nne equal ha re re kgapela ba ba setseng ba ira tuition kwa ntle ra re a ba berekisane le ba ba ka kgona re na le bana ba ba go medicine ba ba itseng re na le bana ba go criminal justice ba ba itseng re na le bana ba go education ba ba itseng king e sa kopane ba ta ba thusa botoka ga nna le kgang ya gore mo go tsentseng se dirwa ba ba duedisang at least mo kgweding ba se ka ba duedisa baithuti ra lela ha rena madi ke so se ile go thusa etseng ile teng e tse ikgaphetse ko thoko ha se so se sesha ke so se ile gore ra lela re le baithuti ha go di moga mong ke ra ya How can I sente? Nna ke lo criminal justice because it's rona ke gone ntseng eta. It was introduced on 2010. But ha re tsana kwa nteko ba re khapela kwa thoko gape itse re khosa rona ke eng sente. Ke ka gore re tshwantse re sokole ka khanyeo mme ra re tsile go ithuta mme khosa ya rona e sa bone boleng ha re dira criminal justice ga tora le police. Ke sa ba khathele go thoko ba ra jang a khosane e le kana le motho e leng gore o ile se policing a tshotse form 5 o gakologa ga ke ba khapele go thoko ke bua nnete gompieno ana we have some students have lost interest, some people have lost interest ka go ta go ithuta mo mmadikolo ka gore seriti sa rona se ole rona ra re botoka a mmadikolo a go botsa khanya gore in theory 3 years or 2 years e be re nna le practical ga wane mo ngwageng gompieno ana ra di attachment so se sang ga wane gongwe mohiri wa me go ke tebeng ke ile teng o ta bang khathegetse me go pala gore o ba ga pamphira ka gore ke tebe ke boa gape ke ta sekolong ke a go heleletse ena ba sala ba hira yo, which is totally unfair to us. Ke sa buele criminal justice ke buela le bana ba dikhosi tse di go mo gwa ra mara le ba ithuti o ta tsa tshwetso go ba lo teng ka di 8 ke a tswalele ke bata gore go nne le khanya reintroduction of a reading week gompienwana ha o ka lebelela ba re fase di test le di exam ga rena nako ha o tshwantse re wa kwala o na le lesson gape ka 3 o bala nako mang o prepare la yo nako mang seo se supa hela gore mmadikolo o bata go hukotsa palo ya baithuti ba sala ka palo nyana ba se ka ba dira ha ke itse gore ke mmadikolo kana ke SRC e sa tse ntshwetso mme hela rona re le mokgatho re bata gore fomo go boelle ra imelwa ra feila re le bantsi go mo gwa ra ama mo re feidiswa ke ga re hiwe nako re na le pressure ga re hiwe nako ya gore re ipakanyetse go kwala di test tseo le di exam tseo ka nako ha o ka lebella sente bana ba ba feila thata mo sekolong ke bana ba ko BSc ke ka gore di test le di exam di kopane mo bekeng ke mba sa hiwe nako ba hukoletsa pressure e so sa rama re le UBCD XTSM re neleng monyetla wa gore re tsena mo pusong le telebone diwo tse re tang ka tsone ga re buihela ha o di mogamong ha o ka lebella sente go na le khanya ya gore mo di reading week le di test tseo di lecturer motho khona go cancela test in schedule for the 27 aba ibusetsa ko morago mme e busetsa ko morago ana aba manka ha mosing aba mo ithuti go mo nke selelo se re le lang ka sone rona re le mokgatho wa UBCD XDSM re bata gore go nne le reintroduction of a reading week sa bobedi ke gore nna ke le minister wa academic affairs ke bua hape le ga lona ke le nna hape le ga lona ba ithuti ke re bata gore go nne le a printing service mo sekolong gompieno ana re charge mathupula kwa nte so go rama re charge mathupula kwa nte go rama madikolo a re hana madi ka gore madi a ile kae mme le ga lewa ha se ya meta ra ke ba ba tshwanetseng rona re le mokgatho re nele monyetla re tsese printing services mo sekolo madi a tebong a tsena a dirwa ke lona ba ithuti ga a direle rona SRC a direla lona gore go te gore di computer tse di go 247 di bereke ke na le 3 years mo mmadikolo mme kwa ga go 247 na kwa go balwa ga gona sepe se se berekang it's either ile metakase di cable di computer eng ga gona sepe se se berekang re nele monyetla dilo tseo di ta goroga ha ke bui hela le bone ka puso ya ga re prosper seo se diragetse mme ona a le nosi a se mo mokgatlong ope o kgonne gore direla ka bonte seo se supa gore le rona re na le vet ha le ka re ha chance ya go ira seo ke sa le ba le kganya gore gompieno ana mo mmadikolo ga re patelwe space sa di attachment mmadikolo tshwanetse gore a ba re marketa re le bana ba sekolo mme ga e riana gompieno ana re na le bana ba ba yang kwa attachment mme ga e se ya bone attachment mme deadline e goroge ke ka goreng o tshwanetse gore nna ke le moithuti ke patele attachment mme ke na le sekolo se tshwanetse gore se ntirela yalo se mpapatse gompieno ana ba re rejecta kwa nte kwa ba re nya rona ga le bati ka goreng gate le ba le kopane mme le ga leo ha siame eo e ka tayang kgolega ba re gana ba re ga re nna botsipa ba go ka bereka le bone hela sentle ke ka gore e seriti sa rona sa mmadikolo se wela hatshe ke ka gore baithuti ba sa kgone go thusiwa ka ba tshwanetse gore ba thusiwe ka tsone ra lela re na le mathata a mantsi ga godimo ga mong sekolo le sone ga se dire sepe go ka re thusa gore re kgone go tswelela bomma ga re ata go feila kwa ga se mang le mang o ka gorogang kwa mme gompieno setse re tshwana le ngwana o kwantwe le gore ga a ka kgona go goroga mo mmadikolo. What is the difference if mmadikolo a re feila rona re le bana ba sekolo? There is no difference. That is why learning gompieno ana go buiwa ka thuto ebe mongwe le mongwe a kgaletswa gore so se e leng gore nna nka dira forex ka taka go gaisa ka sone, which is so demoralizing le wena o le moithuti gore o berekile 4 years o berekile gore o hite 36 points o bo ya go sa nne le pharologanyo ya ngwana o ithutileng le ngwana o sa kgona go goroga 36 points. So sa ama seo rona re le UBCD re batla go tsisa pharologanyo mo mmadikolo. We are trying to usher a new dispensation. We are trying to bring back the integrity of Madikolo. We are trying to bring back the integrity of students. For eskan na kanya gore ba feitse ke ba ithuti hela ke eng management e sa nne hatsi ya ipotsa gore bana ba feidiswa ke because possibly it cannot be only the students, possibly it can also be the management. Re le kanya sikhet re na re fila hela me a bona se se tšha se tang se changeile ka so re na re fila me re na le di lecture tsone tse re ha re di badi ke SRC ha e bereke kana management ke yone sa bereke me le ga le tsao ga se tsame di tata di arabiwa ke ba ba le mo pusong ba bangwe ba tata ba ikarabela le bone ke re moithuti le motsana ko lapeng o gakole go le gore le re tsisitseha le ne le re have that motivation to come to Madikolo, but gompieno it is so frustrating and saddening go bona gore gompieno ana ra faila re boela go motseng ga gona sepe se re se tshwere re setse re dira ditiro se di gakgamatsa re le bana ba ba setsana re setse re ineletse ditagi ke ka go reng re tshwantse re tsengwe pressure yeno ke sekolo ke ka go reng re tshwantse gore rona banana re faile mme gate Madikolo is the highest learning institution mo sekolong also internationally. Ke ka go reng re tshwanetse gore re te mo Madikolo gore re te re boela ko lapeng re go nna hatshe go sena sepe se re se tshwereng re feitse re sa dira sentle go sena pharologanyo ya motho yo pasitseng le motho o sa pasang. Rona re re UBCDX DXM, we are trying to usher a new dispensation. Dio tseo di kanyelela ha re ka re tsenya mo pusong ha re di buihela re di bua e le gore ke so se le gore sa manna sa ma wena sa ma ba batang sa ma monana yo tang yo irang form 5 gompieno ana re le ka go busetsa seriti sa Madikolo gore ngwana yo hetsang form 5 a ta re nna mme ke batla UB ka gore seriti sa UB se boele gompieno ana rona re le baeteledi pele nna ibile ke lo academics re na le melao ye supang gore ka nnete ha motho a dira a sa tsamaye sentle ka dithulaganyo tsa mo di-exameng o ka dirwa yang, but ha gona sepe se se supang gore kgato e kile ya tsewa ha gona sepe se se supang gore ka nnete Madikolo ke Madikolo o lo a bogologolo o batsedi ba rona ba buang ka yena go tšhentšhile go itirelwa ga re itse gore eng ke mme hele ke re moithuti ke a leboga thank you motsamaisi.
Hey, boy leader, let's pay attention to this side. The candidate from UBCD DSM. I'll be handing over to Kidi Sangselelo, the independent candidate, to give us your manifesto.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me take this opportunity again to greet you, the student community. Let me just start with my first point for my manifesto. Under the Ministry of Academic Affairs. My first manifesto is to facilitate availability of educational resources on library catalog and also in modules during the semester. As we know, we don't have much of the past papers in our library catalog. This is something that we are experiencing as students, but these past papers is something that every student needs as they are preparing for their examination, for their test, for their quiz, for everything. But the thing is, this week, I think it is last week, I got the information about how this thing, how the past papers and every other material are updated on the library catalog. The thing is lectures are supposed to go before the librarians with their past papers, so that the librarians can update them on the library catalog. But the lectures are not doing that, because lectures repeat questions. They repeat questions in test and examination. So this is the main reason. So I am looking forward to address that as the Minister of Academic Affairs. I am going to make sure that I engage every faculty and every lecturer personally, visiting them and talking with them, so that they can update these past papers on the library catalog and also on module. As we know, there are even some lectures that they do not update or upload the lecture notes on module during the semester. This is something that we experience. We saw it in our, in our Facebook groups. There are students that are always complaining about the lecturers who do not upload the lectures notes and every other material on the module. So I am looking forward to address that. But besides that, I also have something, a student team that I would like to build. It's called FMDT. FMDT is stand for faculties modules data team. This will be a team that is made of students from different faculties. They'll be joining hands together, and they'll make sure that they gather information, they gather material, notes from different faculties, and they will be distributing to students. Then my second point is to take action on the lack of study places. As we know, the faculty, the University of Botswana, have a large number of students, but we experience a situation whereby the students, they do not have a place to study during the examination and the test period. So I am looking forward to make sure that during the examinations, every classrooms and every lecture theaters, every building that is used for any academic or educational purpose is open. Every lecture rooms is open for the students to make sure that they use these classrooms to study, not only using Block 478 and also the library. And also under this point, I will also indicate that, there are other issues that are affecting the students. Like there is damaged sockets at the library at Block 247. There are damaged sockets, but who are reporting these damaged sockets? Who are reporting? Because the Department of Maintenance is doing very well for the hostels, for the student hostels. They are maintaining and repairing the sockets and every other things that are affecting the students that need them to repair. But when it comes to library, we experience a situation whereby the sockets can be damaged the whole semester without being repaired, because it is the students who are using these sockets. But where are they being reported? The SRC have to take care of this, but they're not doing so. So I am looking forward to engage every student so that we can even report these sockets and they can be repaired so that we can study efficiently. So let me go to my third point, which is professionalization and improved communication to the students. I remember talking to the Minister of Academic Affairs for the previous years before this current one. I told him about this communication. The Ministry of Academic Affairs is not doing enough when it comes to updating the students. There are so many academic issues that are taking place each and every week, but the ministry is not updating the students. So there's a need of improved communication to the students, because there are so many things that are happening from different faculties that the students have to know. So I am looking forward to see that there is a professionalization and improved communication to the students from the Office of Academic Affairs. And then my other point is establishing communication network with landlords around Gaborone. I know this is something that it is more focused, or it falls under the Ministry of Student Affairs, not under Academic Affairs. But I am looking forward to work with the Minister of Student Affairs so that we can see to this, so that we can connect and build that team that is called SANT, standing for student accommodation team. This team will be gathering information about, the places where students can stay, the rooms. This movement that is called SANT will be able to partner with these landlords so that we can find good accommodation for the students. And then my other point is to plead for a reading week. The students are going through a lot, and especially the students who are under the Faculty of Science, BSc students. During the examination, they have assignments, they have lab sessions, they have lessons, they have tests, they have presentation. They have a lot of things. BSc student is one of the busiest students in the university. So I am looking forward to at least plead with the university management, every faculty, so that they can create a space. At least during the test, there should not be lab sessions. And then my last point is availability of strong Wi-Fi in the University of Botswana. There is no strong Wi-Fi, especially in hostels. There are some hostels, student hostels, that there is no strong Wi-Fi, and some there's completely no Wi-Fi. So I am looking forward to make sure that the university is engaged, and they make sure that there is strong Wi-Fi and active Wi-Fi in every hostels for the students. Recently, the university, the government of Botswana have introduced and established a very strong initiative, which is smart sports. It is very disappointing to see how, where the country is right now in terms of technology. You can see that there is a smart sports across all the countries, but look here at the University of Botswana. Students in those hostels, they are struggling with that Wi-Fi to reach and to study. So I'm looking forward to make sure that there is a strong Wi-Fi and there is that active Wi-Fi across all the campus. So that is all of my manifesto. But I am looking forward to do a lot. I am really looking forward to do a lot to the student community under this Ministry of Academic Affairs. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I'll be handing over to Mandy Patsalan of GS26.
Thank you for the floor, moderator. I'd like to thank the previous opponents for giving an extreme elaboration on the similar points that we have. So allow me to show you the feasibility of the very things that they were saying. Allow me to show you the how, or the implementation of the very things that they were saying. I'm not gonna spend too much time on explaining designated study groups. The University of Botswana has seen a significant increase in students from the 2000 that began when this university was created, to now having over 20,000 students that the library and 247 cannot hold. Therefore, us as GS26 say that we will be introducing designated study rooms. How? There will be classrooms that will not be placed in the timetable and will be specifically for studying. This, like I said, is to reduce the load from 247 and the library. Number two, classroom timetables will be released to show which classrooms will be available at which time during the day. Moving on, we all know that third and fourth year students have had long-standing attachment issues, Banana Barona are always stranded and stressed when attachment period comes and the university does little to help. Rona, as incoming SRC from GS26, present to you in Connect That Internship Bank, something that I have already been doing in my Miss Pushuan platform, but will now be introducing into the University of Botswana. This internship bank will be me as my Ministry of Academic Affairs, going to different companies such as Botswana, such as ministries in the Republic of Botswana, to connect the University of Botswana students to these ministries, and like they said, in order to help them with their internship issues and attachment issues. Moving on, moving on. Our different faculties in the University of Botswana spend millions on their library materials, but are we getting value for our money? Therefore, I'm going to speak to the point of updating our library catalog materials. We need, one, an up-to-date interface. I don't know if it's open Athens, and the university has been paying millions for this. The next point is we are going to request that the university increase the budget for purchase of learning materials on library catalogs. We're going to advocate for students to have the chance to post their notes as well in order to help other students in their courses. Moving on, we're also going to compare our catalog with international universities to ensure the improvement of the website and the materials available. Just as my previous candidate spoke to the lack of communication that the Ministry of Academic Affairs has had, we are going to be ensuring representation of students. We're going to be ensuring representation of students. I'm going to be ensuring representation of students by utilizing technology, by introducing forms for evidence of students' complaints, which will be deployed to course reps, class reps, and every other representative under each course, which is exactly what is going to allow me to represent the student population properly, as I will have tangible evidence to my disposal when I approach different lecturers. We're going to also be helping to reduce the workload for different faculty administrators by ensuring that we set up proper structures of communications, have committees that speak to different issues, and involve course reps, like I said, and class reps in gathering complaints. We're also going to be helping faculty administrators with their workload by having personal assistants. As we all know, we are all students in this room, and the most nerve-wracking moment for students is the publishing of results. Every single one of you guys know the anxiety that happens when you're ready and when you're waiting for results. But over the coming years, there has not been a proper timely release of academic results. So what we are going to do as GS26 and me as the Minister of Academic Affairs, as we will ensure this by tracking marking of lecturers, tracking submissions of results, and implementations of different faculties' results being released at different times to avoid traffic which slows down the website. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, comrades, for those submissions. Say, the floor is yours. 10 minutes to speak to your manifesto pointers and objectives.
Thank you so much, Chair. My fellow panelists here have touched on the issue of updating the library catalog. I think there's something that Memandi Palere Kaha Molemi Wamika Babule Gatsone make what the police the library catalog, Halakora Hakola in this motivation for the Bacana Likuchai. Kailo Honore, it's being updated. How cool we are trying to give a Ruaka or Computer. How can the students access the library catalog? Panelists, but how many of us know how to access and use the library catalog? The library catalog. Or into that library catalog and access the information that are seeking. For a Hapona test paper, library catalog and a jang has a period detailing or had you go talk about my rule. Cecilin thank you for by Twitty, Baparula, you have access at the library catalog. So we need to come up with ways on how we can make it easier for the students to access this library catalog. The provision of designated study rooms for this over 20,000 learners in the University of Botswana. My predecessor, Rama Salila, this was saying, Usidiri. Hakito or Harita Haber, so saying, last semester, there was a cry from the students to say, Hakona study sets and the library 247 the dates. Where can we go? He went and advocated for the students because these students, they were given rooms in 252. So, exam season, the same classrooms, last semester, is the same classrooms. So, this is something that is already in place. Then the other thing, ensuring student representation on faculty board. Mayor admin secretary, Lady SG. To say, Minister of Academic Affairs Rama Salila. They spoke about this to say by enough to sit with the school authorities and discuss these issues. So a resolution has been taken to say faculty representatives will be put in place. This is the inclusivity that we are talking about. The other thing is timely release of academic results. The lecturer I was from a SOC 127 lesson earlier on, and the lecture told us for Lebanese you are more than 200 in this lecture room. I only have 3 days to mark your script, and I'll be done at 3 days only. So these lectures, we are flooding into the system, results. That is why the university came up with this initiative. Results SMS. Testify and to say, results SMS. There's no one because the university is updated. They have your contact. They send these results via your SMSs. Then moving on to my manifesto pointers. What I'm going to do, the first thing, is advocate for curriculum enhancement to align with industry standards. There are some programs which are more than 20 years old, some even older than me, and older than my good friend Khotamusui. That is why Minister of Academic Affairs, together with my team of 12 candidates, to say we need to advocate for curriculum enhancement to align with industry standards. This will ensure that when we graduate from this university, they are better placed and they have better opportunities to access the jobs that are out there in the market. Our Minister of Gender and Labor Affairs, something like that, at national level, the graduates that are unemployed at the moment are more than 40,000. Some of the graduates this university, the programs that they are doing, they will in the sense that they've been there all along, they have never been a review. So we need to go through these things and make sure that we review them so that this curriculum is up to the standards, up to the trends of technologies and best practices of this world. Viva UDC, viva! Viva! Halala, me tweety halala. Halala! Expanding funding opportunities for student research projects. When you are doing your final year, you are supposed to carry out a research. And this is across all faculties. mme seemo sello se se leng teng gompieno ke gore DTF it sponsors most of the students tsa mo UB and other tertiary institutions. Inside the research fund lady, is doing finally. They came to me last week to say, Ghana, we are supposed to submit our research papers this week. To undertake these researches. So these students are forced to dig deep into their pockets and make sure that they carry out these researches. How about the student living allowance? It's not up to the standard with the living wage of Mwana, tertiary level. If you are going to carry out a research that is more than 5,000 pula, more allowance is 1.9, how are you going to survive for that period? Just semester, Ramadia research fund. So how are we going to undertake this? We need to look into things like government grants. To say, knowledge-based economy. Mrs. Linting, we want a fourth industrial revolution. It cannot happen if we do not have research that are put in place to make sure that the students undertake issues that are affecting us at national level or international level. But to do this, we need to access the government funds that are available to fund these researches. We can only do that if the university collaborates with the SRC, if the students they vote more so that we can access this government grants for researches. Young way a private partnership. The University of Botswana is more than able to go out there and seek private partnerships with firms and organizations that are in existence. Because I believe that as a university, we have built a reputation that is well known over the years, and investors out there who are more than interested in research areas and are able to fund us to undertake these researches. Is a lack of mentorship programs. But we need to develop a corporate mentorship network. To graduate from University of Botswana, or send the experience, or send the degree that you have, or you implement the young way of a man, you cannot show any practical skill. But this can be breached. This can be addressed. Corporate mentorship, most schools are. How are we going to develop this? This initiative entails establishing a network of mentors from corporate organizations who can provide guidance, advice, and support to students as they navigate through their academic and professional life. So corporate mentors can offer valuable insights, networking opportunities, and real-world perspectives to help students succeed in their chosen field. They are doing BSc. They do not know the direction that they are going to take after undertaking that program. But if you put mentorship programs in place, we are going to ensure that these children, these students, were heard by these mentors to give them guidance and give them light. So that they graduate from here having the necessary knowledge that we need to advance our country and even this university. But our university is aiming at attaining a high performance organization status. The researchers that I've been talking about really say. All right, thank you so much.
Comrades, for your submissions. Ba khone go leka gone go tlhalosa botoka se le gongwe ga sa tlhalosa sentle mme ba re khone go itse gore a mo dikgang tse ntse di buatse a bua marugo teng. So at this point in time, me and my co-host would throw questions to the candidates, and I also ask you guys at home to send your questions or comment your questions on the comment bar below, so that we can ask the candidates such questions. Is an announcement.
Okay, fine. Let's say we have our candidate. Any outside party slogan. This is what we receive. I've just received a report. They are reflecting me to one. These are what I take it on track. You guys have your own slogans. I never did it. We are clear about what on our way. We have this slogan is in national party. So go pay this and I take it on track. You go pass here and this out. This comes to you as a warning. If you continue with it, you're going to get a return warning. Who go in this room in a candidate? Actually, like this, I'm going to take it on track. Can I almost happily delegate this one go just 26? Your party might even be disqualified from elections. It should not happen again. Thank you, sir.
Sorry for that. We had to attend to something at the side. So back to where we were. The robots are the candidates are like also and okay. Say we are advocating for curriculum enhancement. So I want to understand how is this going to be done. If you look give curriculum in a place, if you look on when I mango now carrying curriculum way your re-changing. So I want you to speak to that for how is this going to be done? If you are place, if you know it's a curriculum you talk review you and also you also spoke about mentorship. Ghana mentorship is something that is taxing and demanding, and you know in most cases these corporate individuals, corporate market whatsoever, charge. So in regards to that financial aspect of it, the do like a my dear thing, those corporate individuals. So because it's two questions, I'll have you respond to that in 2 minutes. Unless maybe my co-moderator has a question for you, so I can maybe introduce it. Okay, please do those.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Yan tawi buliti ngore ke mang yo green some curriculum mo schoolong high updated le gone gore ke he ke hitile le gore is not updated. Se se leng teng gona na ke gore nna I'm a law student ja ke ne ke sa tswa go bolela ke ira law. I get. So what I've realized and what I've discovered for myself, with our law degree, how shall we graduate from UB? We can only work within the African continent, but you cannot go beyond to access other opportunities with a degree in countries like Europe. You need to first attain your master's degree. The law curriculum at degree level, it lacks something, and we need to sit down with the faculty management. We need to sit down with the Senate. Not all of us here are aspiring to be workers in Africa. Not all of us here are inspiring to be imprisoners. But you can only do that. The university that you are schooling in, it gives us updated curriculum. It gives us curriculum graduate from the University of Botswana. Our degrees can be internationally recognized, not only on Africa. Mentorship programs, right? The corporate organizations, they demand finances. How about mentorship? That might be true. At all times, we have corporate organizations saying they are more than willing to help, but these organizations can be approached to say, can't you offer mentorship programs for our students for free? Because seminars, we can organize seminars and call some of these people to come and offer mentorship programs or training on a particular day for different faculties or different departments. But as for the finance, the UBSRC can submit a budget at all times.
2 minutes as you like to say.
All right.
Say. Okay. Kira, you that.
Oh yeah, I do have questions for YC. I liked implementation in terms of your manifesto and pointers. You were talking about the reduction in terms of tuition fees, or supplementing it with something different. What I wanted to understand was, as it stands, the Department of Tertiary Education Financing is lacking finances and financing students for extensions and sponsorships. So I wanted you to address the implementation of that manifesto pointer on how you plan on making it a reality. And then the second question that I had, you were as part of, on what you were saying about real world experience for students. We were talking about how attachments and internships might not really give the students the real know-how on what they have to do when they get to the workplace. So what I wanted to understand from you was, what do you plan to bring as an integration to what's already been there, or what do you plan to introduce as a substitute for Cecilia or Cecilia? Thank you.
Ke a leboga motsamaisi tiro. Ke tla simolola pele ke araba ya ntlha ya reduction of free tuition. Ha o ka lebelela, ke ne ke tlhalosa gore re na le baeteledipele kana ke re boeteledipele bo bo na le boitseanape ga mmogo le baithuti ba e leng gore ba itlamile. For example, we have our incoming Treasurer General Retero Sebako. He has been giving students free tuition. Ke sa bui ka ene hela, re na le ba bangwe, re na le bo Khumo Mbwe. He's a law student. He is also giving services to such students ba le gore ga ba khone go ntsha mo dipatleng tsa bone. Ga ke re ba tlogele kganya ya gore ba ska ba simolola di-tuition tsa bone. Ke ne ke re mme ba akanyetse ba ba sa kgoneng, those students ba le gore ba tswa ko di-family tse e le gore go go bone they are head of families. Ke tsa ke re ke tlhalositse sentle, ga ke re ba tlogele, ke ne ke re ba thusane ga mmogo le gore go na le baithuti ba e le gore ba na le boitseanape bo. They are willing to do that freely. Re na le bana ba ko medicine. Thank you. Ke taraba ya bobedi ke re real world experience. Ga ke re attachment e ska nna teng. Ne ke re mme botoka attachment e nne kgantsa gore botoka e nne gore e ska nna ka ngwaga wa boraro o bo boela sekolong. Go mong go dira gore kontle ha ba go retile go nna thata gore ba tle ba go hira ka gore o boela gape ko theory. Theory mo UB, it's more than the practical life of it. So nna ne ke re ha ba o ketse practically le yone e nne ntsi mo go rona e ska nna kganya gore ke theory ka gore kontle ba re rejecta ba re ga rena that experience. Wa itshwara ne ke sa re e togelwe, ne ke re aba le ke go oketsa the practical work of it. Kana ha ile sengwe re na le baithuti ba ile gore they are willing to help. They are willing to help in this university go thusa ha go tlhokegang teng. Re na le bana ba ba studisang IT ke eng le bone ba sa hiwe monyetla wa gore okay sharp under the help or the guardian of experienced lectures in na bone gape ba ba ka thusang ka di-socket. Re na le bana ba metlakase, surely they know how to fix the sockets because go le ba ga ile gore mma dikolo wa palelwa. Thank you ke ya rabile ke a leboga motsamaisi.
How taking a long way, Sebaka. You take over there. Can I know the UB SRC constitution? The Minister of Academic Affairs shall represent the student body in the Senate and the library committee and coordinate the representation of the student body in the faculty and departmental boards. So, you know, we are kind of manifesto. We are going to make recommendations. But we are going to see me ha go nthara gore ha go mo kwa le bontsi ba no le borile lecture go mo buela go tase ngwa go tang le mo letswa gape mo ye 3 kana semester se sengwe ntse buela go tase. So then my question is, what recommendations can be done with issues of SICAN, right? In the sense that we are going to sit in these board meetings, in these faculty meetings, in the Senate. So what then do you bring to the table in that regard?
Before you answer that question, upon reflection, I would like to retract the first question that I asked towards your manifesto pointers. Yes, thank you.
Ke a leboga moderator. Kgang ya sekete ntse kgang ya sekete ke gore re na le di-lecture tse e le gore ba dira tiro ka botalo mme go na le baithuti ba ba ngongwaregang ka bone. Phoso e tswa ga kae? Ke gone ga ke reng gonega go nna le bana ba e leng gore ba ka kgona go ema ebe ba tseeletsa kana e nna bone the teacher's assistant ha e le gore kgang ya gore lecturer o ka swapiwa le lecturer yo mongwe ke eng go sa tsewe bana ba e leng gore ba ntse ba ira di-tuition ba e leng gore they have records tsa gore ditlase tsa bone di a pasa ke eng go sa tsewe bone ga diriswa bone gape. Not only that go mo go ka supa empowerment mo baithuting kgang ya sekete e botlhoko mo go maswe ka gore re yone ra e file mme ga bona sepe se se tang so rona re le ba mokgatlho re a go tsene baithuti ba e leng gore e ntse ba thusa baithuti ba bangwe mahala ba step in as teachers assistant because surely they can do that for free. Kana ha go swapiwe di-lecturer kana management o tsene ka bogare o utlwe baithuti selelo sa bone physically le selelo sa di-lecturer because re kgona gore re blame di-lecturer and le rona baithuti ba e leng gore we don't even care about our studies. Gono go tlhokana le transparency ya di-lecturer le baithuti ba te ba bua kgang ya bone ba lebagane mo matlhong gore mme kana re ha ra itelela ke tsa ke re ke ya re le sentle.
So I'll throw a question to Mandipa from the GS26. Open Athens, we are counter what update the interface, more material on that platform. So then where I come in is already there are comments that university how should we have a data interface? That needs quite a lot of money on that regard. How we can the book at the in we pay for that. Bearing that in mind, for university we are not to say so can you please maybe speak to that? And we are going to timely release of results. We are going so my understanding is there is quite a lot of lecturers in the University of Botswana. So I want to understand the feasibility in that. The how part. So maybe can you please speak to the how part in that regard the time release of results. Manage and 25 the lecture. Thank you. So 2 minutes to address those questions.
Okay. Thank you, moderator. I'm going to speak first to how your first question. So just like my Minister of Student Affairs said, we're going to, as the SRC, are going to have money-raising initiatives that are going to be able to be part of the budget that is going to be dedicated towards contributing towards updating of interface such as Open Athens and such. Also, I had said that different faculties have already these library materials budgets. We are not sure. We need to assess whether or not these budgets are being used properly. Are we getting the value for our money? So we're going to instill structures to check, to see for the file. Hanover Faculty of Social Sciences in Tisabokana. Is that what is being reflected in Open Athens? Hanover SRC managed to raise Bokana at this event, such as whatever event we are going to implement. Did they manage to also get the value of their money when they update this interface? And I'd like for you to repeat your second question.
My second question regards to your issue on timely release of results. And then in your expansion, you spoke to maybe Agiti. We are going to make follow-ups on lectures updating or making well in time or whatever the case may be. So, there are a lot of lecturers in the Ministry of Botswana. Where is the feasibility in that? The how part of it?
Alright. Thank you so much for reiterating your question. Like I said, there's going to be an implementation of the Minister of Academic Affairs Committee. it will be also having subcommittees if need be to assist in also following up with these lecturers. Number 2, we understand that lecturers may have over 500 scripts to mark. We can outsource people that can help the lecturers mark these scripts in order for them to finish within time, to ensure a timely release of academic results.
Okay. Do you have any questions? So a question to our independent candidate. Say, can you please speak to your last manifesto pointer? I didn't hear you capture that in your presentation and or submission. Provision of mental health education to facilitate academic focus and effectiveness. We've always had issues of mental health, stress. Paul also mentioned, some kids end up doing drugs and what have you. In the mental health. So can you please speak to you provided that mental health education and how you're going to facilitate and how you're going to facilitate that is academic focus and effectiveness?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. My main goal for this initiative is to make sure that the student they receive education on mental health. As we can know in our university, we cannot see that there's no education, that strong education about mental health. And even where you can find these services, where you can find these people who can help students mentally to restore them, there's no that education on mental health. So that's my aim. If I become the Minister of Academic Affairs, I'll be making sure that the students they receive that education, mental health education, and this can be by involving NGOs. Recently, about a month ago, I was invited by this certain lady. She's a student here, and she owns a certain NGO. He invited me for this seminar, and there was so much education about mental health. The seminar was focusing on mental health. So I really envision that kind of okay.
Just after this segment, I'm going to open up the floor to political party representatives. 2 questions each, 2 minutes to speak to those questions. Vincent, because you mentioned issues of SRC funds. You also mentioned that I don't think you mentioned that, but SRC funds. So my question is, are you all for the opinion or view that you and your colleagues will utilize Madia SRC simply? Are you all for the opinion or view that you and your colleagues will utilize Madia SRC simply?
All right.
Emma. Okay, so I'll open up the floor to political party movements. You can have the floor.
Hey, thank you. What's I make you at the criteria for DSM Hammo, Lebaran just 26. What DSM are free tuition in a car by Kitiba Fila. Merudumana lay. Make that of what's about our the reason why I took that fail. It was because Yahoo qualified exam 40%. You know what it was resolved by the Senate. Meeting you in chairman Yahoo prosper. On our COT, what are the teacher's assistant, the teacher's assistant, the detail criteria, just 26. Le bua gore le batla gore di-class di dirwe di-study area ka gore library le 247 over gape re dumalana le lo mme ga o akanye gore re lebile gore the University of Botswana already is overpopulated for its own capacity. I am how to di class o dira di-study area ga o thaetse di-class tse e leng gore baithuti ba ka attendela mo go tsona. I am batla go rarabolola bothata ka go dira bothata jo bo e nngwe gape o bua ka kgang ya library catalogue gore le batla go e fetola komrei go etola catalogue go costa madi a seng kana ka seng ga se 1.5 mme so se buang ke gore la go raise the funds to be able to update the library catalog. How change a library catalog will cost millions. To be quite honest, let's be feasible about the police. La go tsaka you ile na ntse go tsa ga itse le mo go ba.
From any other student political party movement, political party movement. Team I have given you 2 minutes to speak to your questions. So how was just know that you have 2 minutes.
Leaders, this guy address their political movement. Let's not criminal politics. Movement. Yeah, we simulate 2 minutes. Yeah, now, the first question, research funding. Comrades, research funding in UB is the most extensively funded institution through audit, through CC, through UB Foundation, and the respective faculties. Where now only review the course comrade. Last time we review the course, re bone ka hata sa re bo ka ndumela wa ha se mokra ha go review the course of sport science comrade the Minister of Academics for the past 8 years ba ntse ba tswa go holona ke ntse ke a ipoeletsa wa se ba ketsa ba ithuti hore he bo mosobira go tse di go tse wa we dance se pharologa ana platform go ka itshware ka botu montlatsi itshware ka maitse a bona go ya no comrade to ga go bua ma ka go bo simola hore bo mosu am dira 5-year program by 5 years wa ka wena santse ke di montsi mo tlogela ba se ka fotola famasi now wena wa go dira se se pharologane wa go review everything because I identified any so bona di tlhoka review apart from zelo reviews that thing this is di diretse ka na go ne re bo ka ndimela wa ga tshuna a le mo puso masela ke ntse ke a go khaleme comrade prepare enough comrade khalemela rona ke la ba itse ano ra comrade aksa to ke ta bua go re ke ro ba di mo masela bana a ke go thank you ba GSM ba di tempo to connect.
Yes. My first question will be addressed to candidate Dwamon Wabaituti. The mono stipulated that there is a lot of unemployment in Botswana because the degrees have lost value. True. Comrade, you stated a problem. Well, now we want to know how are you going to address that? Don't say you will act, not stating how you will address it. We want the physical implementation. Number 2, address to the GS26 movement. Students are to be allowed to post notes online to be used by the rest of the student body. How do you plan to control the quality of the uploaded resources by the students when in actual truth, the reality is that they are not academic experts?
For those comments, for those questions, rather. So, Vincent, can you please address your question?
Okay. Thank you so much for the questions. Thank you so much for the questions. I think one of your questions that's one, the enhancement of the curriculum. I was saying to enhance a curriculum because our degrees have lost value, and you agree with me in that aspect. Maybe the how part, one the how part. And I answered the question, and I'll repeat the answer again. I said we are going to sit down with the faculty boards and departments, even the Senate. The Minister of Academic Affairs, one of his duties, I'm coming there. Relax. Listening is a skill. Listening is a skill. You don't listen to respond. You don't listen to respond. Let me answer you. Because I gave an example at the program that I'm doing. You are doing it, Mr. Atta. You cannot work in countries like Europe. What time is it? What time is it? Student. Degree. I was saying, let us sit down and review this as students, as faculty, board. Then the other things research funding can go with that. So how you expand funding opportunities. When you expand something that is already there. There is shortage. How can you are research funding thing through UB organizations, spiritual UB foundation, or we need to supplement on that. It needs to outsource the resource and make sure that Barnabas Ukolo, they have this access to research funds. They know what they want to
So I'll be handing over to Mandipa to address the questions.
Thank you so much. I'll start with the question I got from Monwaba in regards to classrooms as to how I'm going to implement the designated study areas, since they're already full and probably I'm going to be affecting Kenya or the ongoing classrooms. I'm sure you're aware that classrooms do not happen at the same time. Classes do not happen at the same time. We do have spaces in we do have spaces in business block, we have spaces in Fed, and in 252, even during classroom hours and outside of study hours, they are available to the students. So what I'm saying is, they already have students, they don't buy but to increase awareness of these designated study rooms, me as the Minister of Academic Affairs, we're going to be posting for this room is not going to be used at this time. Come here to study. What business block there's this room that will not be used at this time. Come here to study. And then I will address Kenya Library Catalog. I'm sure you are aware that complete revolution does not start, revolution starts somewhere. I'm not saying that we're going to completely change the library catalog within our academic year, but I'm saying we're going to start. When I reference us using SRC funds, I'm talking about even if the little money that we get, we need to implement that money. What are we going to change in that in Open Athens? What are we going to change in that interface? What can we do right now with the money that we have? I'm going to move on to a question that I got from DSM in regards to, I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, how am I going to assess the quality of the notes that will be submitted by students? Am I right? Yes. Okay. There will be obviously a criteria created. We're not just going to accept any notes from any students. We're going to look at the credibility of that student that is submitting.
Sorry, the time is up.
1 minute. It's 10.
No.
Yes,
Comrades, so I'll be leader.
Say, you are given the platform to make your presentations. Leadership.
I'll be handing over to YUBCD to answer the questions.
Ke lebogela potso rre wa mone ke tla simolola pele ke araba ya teacher's assistant. Actually, I was in talks with one of the lecturers mo UB. She was complaining gore ba kupile gore ba hiwe ba kupile management gore at least ba ba nele di teacher's assistant tse 4 me ba hilwe a le 1 ke ka goreng a ka hiwa a le 1 me batho ba le teng ba le available gore la gore batho ba teng me hela management ga o hire me bile ha go ntse yalo go na le baithuti ba ile gore they are willing to do that for free. Me bile ba tsa reference. That is why we should empower baithuti ka go ba ha tiro. Tshepo e simolola ka rona re le management. Ha re ka kira re ga re tshepe baithuti ba rona ebe o sologela gore kwa nte ba ka tshepagala bo ma rona re sa ba tshepe. That is why rona a re ba hireng e nne bone di teachers assistant ba nne le reference at least ba se ka ba nne le attachment ka attachment e le paletse ne ke kopa gore o ele potso ga go ya ga prosper ke go arabe sentle.
The reason why we do that it is because the Senate recently resolved for a qualified exam of 40%. We go meeting comrade. Modula stila ona asiyo kota go bua le ntse la ba ithuti towards that issue. La re ke re wa ka go tshepe jangwe o mo opelela di hallelujah. Ha mo tele di pelo gago a paletse ke o le kanjani.
Comrades, we still have another portfolio to debate. Right?
Yes.
Ke a leboga rre wa mono ke lebogela potso ya gago mo gakologa le gore o bua ka motho le gore was in presidency ka dingwaga di le ne le mo pusong le na le baemedi go ne go paneng gore lo ne le ina te molaong Prosper o paletse lona le ne le go DSP re le thopi go badile le Prosper o dirile tiro o hetsi rona re le baithuti last year re ne re le thopile gore le go dira tiro ene le gore le claim gore Prosper o na sa idire bosupi bokae. We are talking about facts here. We are talking about facts here. We are not going to go about rumors. Give me a better question than that.
Comrades, can we please proceed in that manner? Right? Over to you, sir.
We'll be moving on to the closing statements by the candidates. I'll be affording you 3 minutes each for your closing remarks. So I'll begin with the independent candidate.
Thank you so much. Let me just take this opportunity to say to the student that every student, that just go there and vote during the election on Wednesday. Make sure that you vote those leaders that you trust and you know that they will work at the interest of the students. So just go and vote for those students that you trust in this coming election on Wednesday. So thank you so much. And as for me, I'm from the Faculty of Education. I have a passion for academics, and there are so many things that I want to see happening in this university. And I can assure you that if you entrust me with that opportunity, I will do the best to make sure that I represent you and I inspire you in academics. So thank you so much.
One more right.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful opportunity. Kita leka go khutla kana go wetsa ka gone go bua gore ba le sengwe se ne ke se tlogetse mme ke tabe ke dirile phoso e tona ga ka tswelela be ke hetsa ke sa se bua, which is digitalization of student IDs, because our students need to access every service that is offered in the university, but for them to do that they need their student IDs. But if they are accessible in our mobile gadgets, they are even convenient for our lecturers or examiners at the point of exams and tests. For one school, ask to back and forth what our student ID can spoke on the test. But how you wait? You can't go to quite half on over it. It's like really good waiting. Register the manifesto points that Sarona. Nearly put Simuno in a Gabua on over it. Memo highly one calling while. Una Bua, the manifesto pointers the house already are in place, which means hard to safe. So we need to advise them to say, go back and come with a solid manifesto pointers. Don't say anything saying the national anthem. Then I would like to urge all of you, Banaba Madugo, that despite our differences, let us not leave any stone, let us not leave any department, any faculty unturned. Let us come out in large numbers and vote for all the candidates with 13, so that we ensure prosperity and we ensure that indeed justice and social security are being advocated for in our university. Viva student power, viva! Viva!
Thank you, moderator. Bagaetsho, ke bua gape ke tswale ke re Thopa UBCD XDSM movement. Ke le ke Mpho Asante Monyetsi. Re le tshwaretse ditlamelo tse leng gore di tota di thusa rona re le baithuti le ba batang ko morago. Ya ka ke buile, we are ushering a new dispensation. Ga ra ta go ta go tshameka ka baithuti, ga ra ta go ta go tshameka ka botshelo jwa moithuti. Ke wetsa ke re Thopa rona a Thopa ga go ka di 8 e wela mo go rona ke tsa ke re o inkutwetse ka ditsebe tsa go wa iponela le rona gore re thwahetse ga ra ta go leba dipata tsa rona ga ra ta go ta go politika ka matshelo a batho ga ra ta go ta go tshameka ka baithuti ke wetsa ke re we as the UBCD XDSM we are ushering a new dispensation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, moderator. I'd like to firstly thank my party for offering me the opportunity to stand here as the Minister of Academic Affairs. I stand here as a representative of GS26 and the Reset Majikolo movement. And I speak to Mituti to say that leadership is not just a position, but it is also character. Make sure that when you vote on the 8th, you have assessed the people that you will be voting for. You've looked at their character and the credibility of the people that are standing for the positions that you want to be in power. Because this is your right. You have every right to vote into power, whoever you want to vote into power. Utilize it well and look at every single portfolio and assess whether or not it's better than the next. And I leave you with these words: vote GS26, vote GS26. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates, for those presentations. Let's us head on to the police stations on Wednesday. Really informed for me and my moderator and the University of Botswana Society, we thank you for your time. We thank you for watching. Be on the lookout. We have another debate session in 5 minutes. Thank you.